Tennessee needs to cheat. Cheat, cheat, cheat. Cheat, 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 cheat. And I know this is the time where it's a very religious time. And we should be the best human beings we can. But there is not a commandment in the Bible that says thou shalt not meet with prospects when they're not supposed to. There's also not a law on the books that said it is law misdemeanor 824.698 that you should not meet prospects when you're not supposed to. Bruce Pearl did that. Bruce Pearl fibbed to the NCAA and UT about it, cost him his job. Jim Harbaugh is doing that right now. He met with a couple kids, bought them a burger. He wasn't supposed to do that. He said, I don't recall. Cocky, I don't recall. Bruce Pearl actually had that sort of leverage at the time, and Mike Hamilton didn't back him. For right or wrong, I don't think you lie to your boss. So you don't lie to UT if you're Josh Heupel. You don't lie to UT, you don't lie to the NCAA. But the Vols got off pretty darn easy with some major sanctions under Jeremy Pruitt. So they know how to handle that. And I think it's time for Tennessee, however you have to do it. And now it's not paying kids because you can pay them. It's illegal contact. Do it. Cheat. Because the NCAA has no teeth. Zero whatsoever. Jim Harbaugh is going to be suspended again for Michigan for the third time in less than a calendar year. He is going to be suspended for this. He was suspended for having a person on his staff attending other games, scouting opponents, which is clearly a violation. He was also suspended earlier in the year by the NCAA. At what point is he the interim coach if he's suspended for 7 games a year and he coaches less games than he's actually in attendance for? Josh Heupel, I'll back you. I will all out say you're doing the right thing to make Tennessee better. If you go out there and you skirt the rules, you meet with prospects when you're not supposed to, you know the ways you could cheat and make Tennessee's program better than I do. But err on the side of cheating because it's not immoral. So don't give me that on the message board. Hey, this is immoral, Dave. You're asking him to do something like lying or stealing. No, God said don't do that. Our government says don't shoot people. We've got laws. We've got commandments. But these are rules by a group that can enforce them. And I quite honestly, I think you can probably tell it by my voice, Caleb, I get frustrated that these things are even still news. I had this conversation 10 years ago. I can't remember who was getting away with it. But aside from lying to UT or lying to the NCAA, which Jim Harbaugh has done and he's going to get with it, but he's going to get away with it. But lying is in the Bible. Cheat. So try to argue, if you can, the moral side of it, Caleb, for a second, because I don't know. We purposefully went into this not knowing if we agreed with each other. At our 3:45 a.m. meeting, we said, I don't want to know what you think, because here's what I think, and I feel strongly about it. Prepare yourself. All right? So take a second and argue the morality part of it, if you would like, Caleb, or you can just jump on board with me. But cheat. I mean, you don't get in trouble for it, and Tennessee handles it better than anybody that their mascot isn't a Wolverine. Michigan handles it pretty good when the NCAA comes calling around because they just get their coach suspended and everything's fine. But Tennessee's a close second with the way they handled the Jeremy Pruitt situation. Cheat.
So, I agree with you. And let me break this. You're right. You can cheat without breaking a commandment in the Bible because you don't have to lie about cheating. Just be honest about it, and you'll even get less of a punishment. Now, be careful that there's nothing in the Bible about it. I don't know if y'all read all the stupid rules in Deuteronomy and Leviticus and Numbers. Okay, but there might be a rule in there about paying prospects cheating. I mean, they have the most, like, don't eat shellfish. Okay, that's a rule apparently in the Bible. And also another one, you should kill your neighbor if they work on the Sabbath. So they got some crazy rules in Deuteronomy and Leviticus. So they just might have something about cheating in one of those two books. But for the most part, I'm with you. But cheat in the terms of secondary violations. Don't cheat like Fred and others are saying Nebraska cheated in the 90s, because that's putting players' health at risk. Don't do that.
Well,
That
players do that. That's not that. I mean, that doesn't come from the coaches. The steroids. I mean, that comes.
you notice Fred said that he noticed it in 97, but it didn't seem like they were in 99. You know, Nebraska, Tom
No, but
Osborne retired in 97, and Frank Solich was there in 99. There was a
yeah.
rumor that Tom Osborne was behind it.
Well, I don't think that's the case, and and the reason I think so is because I've seen it happen at a couple of different programs, and we almost broke a story where it was happening at Tennessee at one point, and it was one player who did it. They saw how much it helped him, and then it kind of spread through the locker room. So I don't think it's some sort of mass email that goes out to all players and says the D ball's in the corner, feel free to inject yourself. So I don't think it comes from the higher ups, but no, I don't want you to cheat in terms of steroids. But I'll tell you what, if it's well monitored, I don't have a problem with it, to be frank with you, because you got guys in their 40s and 50s who take testosterone. I know people that take steroids for testosterone replacement. Contacts are a performance enhancer. I don't want to get sidetracked on that. By the way, I use LASIK, no contacts, and also no glasses. CCTeyes.com, LASIK cataract surgery. They'll take care of you, and they're local and they care about you. But cheat, meet people all the time, meet prospects all the time. I got no problem with it because the NCAA isn't going to do anything to you. So I want to look at the message board. So I'm not going to say who is shooting up in the locker room, but let's just say I'm not going to say who's shooting up in the locker room. I'm not with the needle. No, I'm flabby. But am I wrong, guys? Am I wrong just to say, wouldn't you like to see Josh Heupel push the limits a little bit?
We don't know that he doesn't.
If it came down to James Pierce and or Nico or one of those guys, you're like, this guy's elite, or Arian Carter, and I use them because you beat out other great schools, not necessarily what they've done at Tennessee, but I think Arian Carter is going to be that type of player. So thank you, Rocky Top Tom. Said you're wrong. So why am I wrong? I do appreciate that for you taking that stance. Now, the argument would be that you have signed up for an agreement with the NCAA in your contract not to break those rules. But what if Danny White's on board? What if you say, hey, there might be times where I bump into a prospect on campus and I didn't maybe necessarily know. Is that okay, Danny White? And he says, oh, hell yeah, absolutely. Here's a gift certificate to Copper Cellar, and you can go take them there. I think Danny White should be on board. I don't think you lie to your boss, but I don't understand why you don't cheat.
My only question is the type of cheating we're talking about that wouldn't have ramifications. And this was my question with Bruce Pearl in the late 2000s. This is my question with Jim Harbaugh. And I'm not taking the moral stance. Here's what I'm saying. Do the benefits from it really outweigh the negative attention you're going to get? Like this, okay, you've covered recruiting, Dave. Does a barbecue at Bruce Pearl's house really make a difference over whether or not he signs a prospect?
I mean, does the talk hurt him with a future prospect? Yes, it could hurt him, I guess, maybe.
But does it? No, I mean the specific prospect. You get the gift certificate to take an athlete to Copper Cellar. Is that prospect really going to say, man, I love that Copper Cellar the coach took me to. I'm going to Tennessee. Does an athlete really do that?
I don't think so. I don't think athletes get upset when they hear about cheating scandals. I don't think anybody that signed with Tennessee when the Pruitt stuff was floating around was worried about that. Do you?
No, but Tennessee was giving them bags of cash and McDonald's bags. Cash sells more than Copper Cellar.
Okay. Well, I was talking about the guys after that signed Tennessee. Rocky Top. Go ahead.
This is why I bring this all up, is because I don't think the type of cheating you're calling for, I don't think gives you that much of an advantage. So I don't think it's worth the cheating. I don't think it's worth the negative pub you're going to get for the cheating. I don't think it gives you that significant of an edge, honestly. That's my take on it.
Fair enough. The message board seems to agree with you. When others cheat, you expect it and beat their rears anyway. It develops character, makes you a man. I agree it's the better way to go, but I got no problem. I'm not going to throw Josh Heupel under the bus if they do a news drop on a Friday, a news dump where they don't want anybody to know, just like they did with the revelation of the penalties for the NCAA. I got no problem if it comes out this afternoon that Josh Heupel's had some sort of secondary violation by meeting a contact. I'm not going to rip him on Monday. Let's put it that way. Is that a better way to put it? Bama cheated and built a dynasty from it. Nobody batted an eye. I think Antonio Langham still gets money from the University of Alabama's athletic department.
Well, the thing Saban did that was very shady was he would oversign and then he would say, all right, a couple of y'all got to go to prep school. I don't have enough scholarships, that was really pushing the rules of the time.
Do you ever play Rook? I got the trump card. I'm going to throw it down. I got the Rook. Why do you think he has 1,500 analysts?
Because that's a loophole.
No, there's only supposed to be 8 coaches allowed on the field plus a head coach by NCAA rules. What do you think happens? He was the first, remember this, to start excluding the media from practice. Before then, it was open. You trusted your reporters. The reporters respected the fact that if it was something perhaps that could help an opponent, you didn't want to affect the game. That's the last thing you want to do as a reporter. You ran it by the coach. I know that because I accidentally said Jason Witten lined up wide and before an LSU game, and Philip Fulmer didn't want that out, and he blew my phone up, and it was a mistake that I made. I should have asked about it. So my point is, Nick Saban has those analysts, and then as soon as the media leaves, those analysts are running onto the field, and they're coaches. And if you think about it, that has a monster impact. You have 15 coaches for 45 or 47 dudes in the NFL. You theoretically have 9 coaches for 105 guys. Just think about it. There's no way you can handle that. Why is Alabama so much better? Sure, it's a part of Saban, and he's great, and he's a fantastic coach, even on the up and up. But you don't think 10 other coaches running out on the practice field after the media's gone, after watching them stretch, helps immensely? Yeah, it does. I mean, Butch Jones is a doofus, but there's something that he could do on that field to help somebody, surely to goodness.
Yeah, no, I think you are right. I think this is what we're getting at. If you're going to cheat, cheat smartly and effectively. Don't cheat stupidly and don't get caught. And here's what I say, guys. Okay, I'm just going to say this to the message boards who do have a problem with cheating. Dave, give me this. Mine was not for a moral stance. I just didn't think the cheating you're talking about with Harbaugh was worth it. But it's not some moral objection I have to it, okay? I'm not some sanctimonious, like, cheating is bad person, okay? Because, guys, y'all should go to the website doesyourteamcheat.com. I think that's what it's called for the NFL. It shows how every single NFL team has cheated in the past, okay? Because everybody used to think the Patriots cheated. Everybody in the NFL has cheated. Did you know the Buffalo Bills realized, Dave, that one of their gate entrances, if they opened it, it creates a massive wind tunnel, so they would open it every time the opposing team was kicking a field goal in the old stadium? Like, yeah, that's cheating.
Story.
The other one, what's the most famous home run in baseball? The shot heard around the world, 1950. The Giants win the pennant. The home run that won them the pennant. The Giants win the pennant. The Giants win the pennant. That was because of what the Houston Astros were doing. That they were sign stealing. They were sign stealing, and they were giving signals to the dugout during that time with a telescope at center field. Why do you think there's green pastures at center field in baseball? Part of it's because of the white shirts. People can't see the ball, but the other part is people were using it to spy on catcher signals back in the day. And that's a very famous level of cheating. Everybody cheats. It's not.
I think Elias in 3 words was concise. Air quotes, cheat. Okay, but it's not all caps. And then don't cheat, which is in all caps. I don't know that you could be more concise than that.
Fully agree with Elias on that. Cheat. You're right. Cheat. Find ways around stuff. 2 rules. Don't make it where it's a significant unfair advantage, like steroids is putting stuff in your body to get an unfair advantage. And don't get caught. I mean,
Bruce Pearl should be closing out a couple of national championships and a Hall of Fame career at Tennessee. And I didn't think that way when he flat out lied to the NCAA. I don't know that he flat out lied to Mike Hamilton. And I understand firing him because of that, but he should have just been honest from the get. And he is absolutely he's still the head coach at Tennessee, and he's one of the most beloved coaches in any sport of all time. The problem is he lied about it. So just be honest, Josh Heupel, when they come to you, and be honest with Danny White, be honest with the NCAA, and then it's all good.
Wait, and let me, and also, yeah, I agree. And Rocky Top Tom, I understand your point here with what you're going to say. I'm going to share the quote. And we wonder why we have so many problems in our country today. We sit and wonder, why do we have so many problems? Rocky Top Tom, if you want to debate me on the morality of cheating, I'm fine with that. But when you say today, implicit in that is that for 100 years, people haven't been trying to cheat recklessly in sports all the time. Okay, the spitball existed for a reason. Babe Ruth ate baseball in the 1920s. There was a medical theory that sheep testicles work like steroids and make you stronger. And Babe Ruth ate sheep testicles, thinking it would make him stronger, violating a rule in baseball. So
didn't think we'd go there. I haven't tried.
But what I mean is, don't say today. Cheating is as old as the sports that are played themselves. Okay, cheating has always been a part of the sports. It's not like it's new today.
Oh man, I go ahead. The guys on the message.
Yeah, okay. The corked bat. How? When was the first corked bat used after it was banned? I mean, we're going way back for that. Cheating has always been a part of the sports. Okay, now you can say you don't like that.
You're talking about pine tar cheating. The how far the pine tar can go up. It doesn't really help you all that much.
No. Corked bat. I'm talking about.
No, I know what you're not. But cork bat helps. Pine tar doesn't help. The whole George Brett thing that didn't really help. Green Wave said, "If your girlfriend doesn't know, is it cheating?" Well, yeah, it's cheating, but but you got to be honest with her. All right, so going back to where we stand on today's tough question originally, and this surprises me. Joe Milton's decision to play in the Citrus Bowl, and you can vote on our YouTube page right now, is up to him. He should take his time, gets 33% of vote. Needs to be announced as soon as possible, gets 30% of the vote. Doesn't matter. Go Vols. So you're fine. Well, then some of you aren't the ones that are booking plans to go to Orlando and that are spending thousands of dollars to go to the game. Because I can tell you that a lot of people I talk to, if they knew it was Joe Milton 100%, they wouldn't go. If they knew it was Nico 100%, they would go. That's fact. I talk to people about that all the time, that mention that all the time. Portions of the program brought to you by Rick Terry Jewelry Design. They want to be your jeweler. Looking for affordable game day jeweler? How about the Fire Opals, a Tennessee tradition? RickTerryJewelry.com. So, listen, I'm not a bad guy, and I don't cheat myself, and I don't lie. I don't believe in it because I think that pragmatically, aside from the morality part of it, it's the best way to live your life. But the NCAA, I don't get a check from the NCAA. And if I'm Josh Heupel, I look at it, my check has a power T on it. And I'm going to do all I can for them. So I got no problem with it because they're not going to do anything to Jim Harbaugh other than sit him for a couple of games next year. And this is the guy who's trying to get out of it and get an NFL job anyway. It's just shameful.